Okay. The last thing we have to do to finish off this topic is stem and leaf graphs. So this is a way of presenting our data. It is a graph, but what is really good about this graph is that it keeps all of the numbers in it. You don't lose any of the information, and you can easily read the numbers back off. No, not in class. Okay, so we are going to take this first set of data here, and the first thing we need to do is look through those scores to find the highest and the lowest number. Okay, so my highest number is 37. What's my lowest number? Good. Been talking all that. All right, if my lowest number is 10, the tens digit is a 1. Then I'm also going to have numbers in the 20s, and I'm going to have numbers in the 30s. That's what these stems represent, the tens digits of your numbers. Now, you need to go through, and put in the leaf. Now, what I'm going to do is highlight all of the numbers that are starting with a 1. So the 10, is that the only one? No, 16, there we go. Okay, because when I put the leaf numbers in, I need them to be in order. So 0 is smaller than 6. So I'm going to put in here a 0 and then a 6. And they are my tens numbers done. I'm going to cross them out. They're finished. Now I want to go through and do the 20s. So I have 23, 25, 27, 3 of them. But I need the leaf to be in order. So of the ones digits, 3 is the smallest, then 5, then 7. So we're going to have 3, 5, 7. Cross them out. They're done. Now I need to do all of the 30s in order from smallest to largest. So there's a lot of them. Yeah, 1, 3, 4, 6, 7. 1, let's cross it off. Then we would have 3, cross it off. Then I have the 2 4s. Then I have 6 and 6 and 7. Okay, now what you'll notice about the graph that I have drawn is that I try to keep my leaf numbers in columns. Okay, so see how all the numbers are nicely lined up? And they should be nice and evenly spaced the whole way through. This is actually a graph. To read your numbers out of it, you start with the stems. So you go a 1 and a 0, that's 10. And then the 1 and the 6 is 16. Or if I come to this number down here, the 4, that's a 34. Okay, so all of the numbers are still in there. Now, one more thing. Any stem and leaf needs to have a key because that tells people how to read the numbers out of it. So what I do is I just take one of the numbers. I might take the 23 because it was the very first number in my data there. And I would say the number 23 will be written as a 2, then a line, then a 3. Most of the time, that is how you use a stem and leaf, with a tens digit and a ones digit. But it can be used for things like decimals. I could say 2, line 3, maybe that's 2.3 in a different question. So that's why you have to have a key, because it's not always the same. All right, that's the first one. But here comes all of the things that we have to find from it now. Range, mode, mean, median, quartiles even. So let's go through what all of those mean again. Okay, range is the highest score minus the lowest score. The highest score is very easy to find. If you go to the very bottom row, and it's the very last one here, but don't forget to include the stem. So not just the 7, it's 37. is the biggest number in that graph. So 37 is the biggest minus the smallest number. Where's that going to be? 10, the very first one there, 10. 37 take away 10 is 27. Okay, next one, mode. What does the mode represent? Most. How could we find that? What we're looking for is numbers happening next to each other. So the two sixes here, there's a 6 there, but that's in a different row. It means 16. These ones are 36, right? But there is still 2 of those. There's also 2 of those. Okay? Does anything happen more than twice? No. So that means both the 34 and the 36 are the mode because they both happen twice and nothing happens more than that. Next, the median. What is a median? Middle. Okay. All right, if you are really keen, it's pretty tricky. I have seen people try to cross off beginning and end, beginning and end, beginning and end. You can do it. Okay, it does make a mess of your graph, unfortunately, but you can do it. But unfortunately for a lot of people, that gets confusing because I'm going this way in that row and that way in this row, and it can turn into a mess. So if you don't want to do that, our other option is to use the n plus 1 over 2 thing, that little rule that we've been using, to help us find the position of the median. It's the position. It's not what the median is equal to. It'll tell you the position of the median. What does the n represent? The number of scores. How can I find how many scores I've got in this stem and leaf? What would I count up? I wouldn't count the stems. I would count up all the leaves because each number has a leaf. So if I count these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, that tells me there is 12 numbers that are in that stem and leaf. If I do 12 plus 1 over 2, please type that in. What do you get? I'm asking you to type it in because when I do it up here, I then get 5 different people telling me asking me how to type it in because they don't know how to do it. So yeah, 6.5. Okay, if you get 6.5, the 0.5 is telling you that it's between the 6th number and the 7th number. So let's count down from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7 would be those 2. I'm going to put a line there. My median is between them. I'm doing a different colour. I don't want it to look like a 1. It's definitely not a 1 that I'm putting in there. There is a line between 31 and 33. To find the median, I would have to average them. So down here, I do 31 plus 33 divided by 2 gives me, what does that give? Nope, 32 is correct. Okay, when you type this in, you need to use the fraction button. If you just type in 31 plus 33 and then you do a divide or a fraction afterwards, it's only going to divide the second number. You have to make sure it's doing both the things on the top of the fraction first, and you want to divide all of that by 2. So you should get 32 when you do that. Okay, how do we find our mean? What is the definition of a mean? Yes? The average. How do you find an average? Yeah. So this is a bit of a pain. Everybody get their calculators because you have to add all of those scores together. Now, technically, if you wanted to, you could do it from up here. If you got like all these numbers at the top better, you could add all of those up. That would be fine. But if you're doing it from your stem and leaf, you're doing 10 plus 16 plus 23 plus 25 plus 27 plus 31, plus 33, plus 34, plus 34, plus 36, plus 36, plus 37. I don't know. It's got to be much bigger than that. And I don't know what it is, so we better work it out. Did you guess? What do we got for an answer? When just adding them up. What do we get when we add them up? Yes. Adding them up, you get 300. Adding up, just adding up all the numbers, you should get 342. But you have to divide that, which is why I have the fraction there, by how many scores there are, which is 12. 342 divided by 12 makes 28.5. Okay, now for the quartiles. I've already got on my stem and leaf this red line, which is my median. To find the Q1, I want the middle of the lower half, and the Q3 is the middle of the upper half. Now, the 6.5 tells me that there's 6 numbers in the lower half and there's 6 in the upper half. Okay? So, if I did 6 plus 1 over 2, because that's how many numbers I have in the lower half, what will that give me? 3.5. Good. That's the position of where the quartiles are, between the third and the fourth number. So counting from the top, I have 1, 2, 3, and 4 will be between the 3 and the 5. Now that's not just a 3 and a 5, that's 23 and 25. So the middle over here is 23 plus 25 all over 2. What will that equal? 24. Good. Now for the upper end, we normally count backwards. So I'm going to count from the end to find 3 or 4 going backward. 1, 2, 3, and 4 would be between 34 and 36. So I'm going to add those together. 34 plus 36 divided by 2. What will that equal? 35. That's right. Then finally, the very last thing is to find the interquartile range, which the formula is Q3 minus Q1. Q3 is 35. Q1 is 24. It is 11. Okay, good. We've done it once. Let's do it again. Whole way through. So here is a new set of data. We need to first of all put it into a stem and leaf, and then we're going to have to find all those things again. So the stem and leaf graph there is looking a lot bigger. So let's look for the smallest and the largest number. 27 the lowest, is it? And the largest is 87. So the tens digits is from 2 all the way through to 8. Don't ever skip any, even if there isn't any 60s or something in there. You still have to put every single number between the 20s and the 80s. So I want 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's do our key before I forget. My first number is 32. So 32 is going to be represented by 3, line 2. Okay, going through all of the 20s. Let's highlight the 20s. We have 27. That's the only one, isn't it? Is there another one? Oh, I missed it. There you go, 29. Lucky you guys are checking for me. So there's 2 numbers in the 20s. Make sure that you put the leaves in order. So 7 and then 9. Okay, they're done. Cross them out. Now I want to look for the 30s. I have 32, 38, 37, 38. The smallest leaf would be the 2. Cross that out. Then I would need 7. Cross that out. And then there's 2 8s. Cross those ones out. Now we're looking for the 40s. There's 45. Is that the only one? All right. So that means 45 is going to go there. Cross it out. 50s. I think there's only one of those as well. 59 down here on the end. So we have our 50. We put the 9 in the leaf. Cross it out. 60s. We have 60, 60, 2 60s. So that means 0 and 0. Cross them out. 70s. There's only one, which is the 78. So we're going to put the 8 down here. 78. And that leaves 2 numbers in the 80s. I have 81 and 87. So 1 is going to have to go first, and then the 7. Okay, there is my stem and leaf, which also puts all of my numbers in order from smallest to largest. Now let's find all these lovely things. Range first. Highest score minus the lowest score. So the highest score is the very last one here, which will be 87. So we're going to have 87 minus, what's the lowest score? 27. 87 take away 27 is 60. Good. Mode. Mode stands for most. So 38 happens twice, yes. 60 happens twice. Yep, so it's going to be both of them. We're going to have mode is 38 and 60. Median is the middle. All right, I'm going to count up the leaf so that I know how many numbers I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13. Did I count that right? 13? Okay, so if there's 13 numbers, then I'm going to do my 13 plus 1 over 2, which is 7. Let's count down. That's the position. I now need to find the 7th number. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 would be that 5. I'm circling it. I put a line when it's between things. If it is the 7th number, I circle it. But don't forget to include the stem. It's not just the 5. The median is 45. The mean. Okay, this is the long calculator part. Mean, you have to add them all up and divide by how many they are. So calculators, got 27 plus 29 plus 32 plus 37. Add them all up. Everybody do it, please. Oh, you do it. I've got to start on my calculator. Okay, that's right. So you should get 671, and then we have to divide that by how many scores there are. How many were there? 13. 671 divided by 13 is a decimal number. I'm going to do 1 decimal place, so it'll be 51.6. Okay, now the quartiles. When I have circled that 5, it is now out. I don't count it anymore. There are 6 numbers lower than that number, and there are also 6 higher. What is the middle of my 6 numbers? You can do your little formula again. We do 6 plus 1 over 2, which is 3.5. So it's going to be between again, between the 3rd and the 4th number. So count down. 1, 2, 3 and 4. 3 would be 32. 4 would be the 37. So I draw my line, it's between them. And down here, I add them together and divide by 2 to find what the middle of those would be. So 32 plus 37 over 2 equals, you get 34 point, perfect, 34.5. Then we count from the bottom up, 3 and 4 places. So we go 1, 2, 3 would be that one, 4 would be that one. I'm going to put my line at the end there, and that means it's between 60 and 78. So I do 60 plus 78 and divide that by 2, which means the Q3 is 69. The interquartile range is subtracting the Q3 minus the Q1. 69 minus 34.5 is 34.5. That was a coincidence. Okay, your turn.